This is the first one-shot of many to come. All one-shots that are posted here on D&D Universe are going to be YouTube exclusives. So just for those of you watching right now, and the other ones that you're probably going to decide to binge as they come, are all filmed on a pre-date and will always come out on either Thursday or Saturday to replace a weekly upload of either Arisen or Draenor, respectively. We have two of our returning players that are also both part of Draenor and Arisen, both Yosh and Delta.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a new first-time player to our group. Dr. Chase, because that's what he goes by.
Dr. Professor.
Woohoo! That's Mystery
And-
Dr. Professor.
Each of the characters, so you can get familiar with them. Dirk is going to be voice acted and played by Delta. Yamara is going to be played by Yosh, and Rotato is going to be played by Chase.
Woo.
So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Each of you have come to this small wooden cart with a blank canvas covering the top in the back for different reasons. Each of you can recall either hearing or being sought out or approached by a figure in a red cloak. Our halfling friend, after just being brutally harmed by the local mafia, being left to die in a dark alleyway, is approached by the red figure and given a small piece of parchment with this eye that is darting back and forth, glowing with a green and black color, vibrating slightly. And you can hear a little hum as well. The noble and knight had heard rumors of such a cloaked figure within the city limits, and due to either gambling or debts to be paid, the noble Yamara is seeking some sort of mystical aid and hopes to find such with this cloaked figure. The knight, being hired and loyal to Yamara's family, has sought out and found this cart and is currently leading Yamara back to it. All three of our characters come to a spot that is about 10 feet away from this cart. What do you do?
Well, y'all, I don't know about y'all, but
Do you step forward?
y'all, I do.
So stepping
I think we
forward,
should.
you can see a driver. This is a horse-drawn cart, who doesn't react at all to the approaching of the party. He appears to be a very, very old human, grayed hair, and grayed facial hair, very long beard, a respectable beard. And as you begin to grow closer and closer, you can see kind of a red cloth come out through the backside that is kind of giving a beckoning motion as Rotato steps forward. What do Dirk and Yamara do?
I suppose I will look towards my noble, and I'll say, well, my lord, it is at your order.
This is the right one, right, Doc?
Yes, I do believe so.
'Tis no farce, eh?
From what I can see, everything looks to be
So
correct.
we do see a red hooded figure, huh?
You don't see the red hooded figure,
Just
but you
red
see
hood.
an arm that's kind of draped in the red cloak, like coming out the backside.
I'm gonna and I see Rotato there as well.
Yeah, he's walking forward.
I'm gonna just kind of stare at him blankly, and I'm just gonna walk forward and touch the hand.
Well, you're currently 10
You
feet
said
away
was an
from it.
arm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Rotato is the one that gets there first because he walked away first, and as he gets to the back of the
Okay.
cart, the arm retreats back inward slowly, still doing the same beckoning motion. And from your angle that you can see, Rotato, is just blackness. You can see nothing inside the cart, but these canvas-like curtains that are in the back. As you part them, it's just completely dark, and the cloaked figure draped in red is nowhere to be seen. What do you do? And just so you know, when I'm asking you what you do, you don't have to speak in your voice. You can just speak normally, and then I'll tell you what happens.
I want to approach the old man.
Okay. So you walk along the side of the cart. He's about 10 feet up on this very high chair on the cart. I will draw a small representation. So if the cart is like this, he's sitting right here, and that's about 10 feet up.
What's the height difference between me and this old man?
Um, so, as if you two were standing next to each other, or like, because right now you're looking up and he's about 6 feet above you,
Oh, okay.
because you're about 4'3". As soon as you approach, he doesn't turn his head. Doesn't seem to take notice of you at all.
Okay. I'm gonna look back towards the other two and look for acknowledgement to see if this is an okay thing to do.
So I can see him looking
Yes.
back, right?
Both of you can see him as you're approaching the back end of the cart.
I will.
Is he looking at us for acceptance and something? I can't tell.
Yes, my lord, I do believe he is.
Do you know him?
Not personally.
Make
no.
a history check.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You might. All three of you live in the same town.
Oh.
Oh,
History is int.
Just click history on the character sheet.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot we could do that.
Wow.
Okay, so it's the one on the left. Gotta scroll down. So 6. You don't seem to recall him. He just looks like any other street rat.
Oh, I don't seem to recall if I know him or not.
Well, dark. Let's just find our way and
Yes.
get this
well,
done with.
I agree.
I'm going to approach the cart as quickly as possible,
Okay.
motioning
I will
for
follow
Dirk to
behind.
like quickly.
Okay.
I will. You know what? I won't follow behind. I'll try to keep up with him at his side, just so I can't cower behind my lord.
Okay. So they just continue walking forward. They glance at you for a moment, Rotato, and then they continue walking forward. So you guys are both now at the back end of the cart, and the curtains are kind of parted, and you can just see the darkness.
Well then, you going to go first, or do you want me to bear the weight of whatever's in there?
No, my lord, of course I don't.
I spot a couple like glances at him, like looking.
Yeah, back at the cart and then back at him. Yeah.
No, my lord, of course not. I'll go in first. And I'm going to step into the cart.
I'll walk in close behind him.
Okay. So as you step into the cart, as he walks in, he completely disappears into the darkness. From your point of view, Yamara, he is nowhere to be seen. He just seems to be completely swallowed up by whatever that was. Does that deter you?
I'm going to pause myself. I don't like the look of that.
And I like quickly close my eyes and walk in.
Okay. Okay. And then the last person who's still outside is Rotato. What do you decide to do?
Rotondo.
I will decide to start skipping inside.
Okay.
Ooh.
So do you just like jump into the back?
Jauntily.
It's more like a slight dive.
Make an acrobatics check.
Make it a fun moment.
Okay.
Hey, I tried to dive.
You know
through
what?
the portal and I
Make an
failed
acrobatics
those.
check.
Oh boy.
So go to your character sheet and then hit acrobatics. You have really, really high acrobatics. Which is why I want this to happen.
You want me to roll what?
Acrobatics. Just hit acrobatics. Just like press the word on your character sheet. Okay, so that's a 26.
Yeah.
So you kind of skip merrily to the backside of the cart, and then you take a glance at it for a second, turn around so that way your back is to the entrance, and you do a triple half gainer backflip. And you land precisely in front of Yamara and Dirk, as in you jumped over their head in this room that all of you are now in, and you land face to face with them, and you do like a perfect like Olympic gymnast thing where like the arms are both in the air
arms
and your legs are planted like next to
like
each other.
a Y.
Yeah, like a Y.
I'm going to lean in close to Yamara, and I'm going to say, "My lord, that short one makes me nervous."
I don't know what to do now. He's looking at us.
Yeah, you guys are face to face now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that with obvious like
I was gonna
tone
say,
so
yeah.
he can hear
This
us.
seems like
Okay.
two people like saying things like they're quote whispering in front
Yeah.
of someone, but like just they're
This
whispering
is a
loud
load
enough.
of barnacles.
They're just putting their hand in front of their mouths and hoping that's enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna
Like
block
my
the
hand
sound.
pointed towards him.
Yeah, I got you.
Putting one hand over your mouth and pointing at him. Okay, so what do we see? I suppose.
Yes. So, you come into this grand room, easily, like the court of a king, just absolutely huge. And you ponder for a moment how this is possible. You just stepped into the back of this very tiny cart. Now you're in this grand court, and there's just bookshelves upon bookshelves on either side of you, just filled to the brim with books of all different colors, and just slightly scanning up and down the spines of any of the books. You can see that they're written in all different kinds of languages and script. Small jars with floating oddities in this translucent green
Pixies.
liquid kind of slosh around or oscillate very slowly. And the cloaked figure sits upon a golden throne embezzled with gems at the far end of the room in front of a green-topped table.
Ooh,
Where am I relative
since
to the other two?
Since the
You guys are
halfling
all
is in
grouped
front of
together.
us, right?
You're in front of them, and
Like
currently
still
you're
doing a Y pose.
yeah. He hasn't said that he stopped. So you're currently facing each other. From the angle, Yamara and Dirk can see across the room. It's about 50 feet to where the cloaked figure is sitting, and your back is to the cloaked figure. Rotato. It's just the way that you landed.
Still leaned in. I'm gonna ask Yamara, my lord, shall I confront the cloaked figure back there? I do believe that's who we're here for.
Yes, just ignore the short one in front of us.
You can hear everything they're saying, by the way.
That is what I was going to do.
Oh, yes.
And then
Perhaps we should just go quickly.
I would like to start walking at a bit of a brisk pace. Towards
Yes,
Okay.
I will.
Like, you know how it's like a soccer mom brisk walk.
I'll be in front of him, keeping my pace quicker than his.
Okay. What do you do, Rotato?
I'm supposed to be your shield.
Oh, you're very you know that you're very frail, by the way. Yamara, you've known all your life that you're really, really frail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be basically right behind Dirk, keeping pace.
One time a spider landed on you and broke your arm.
No, alright. And every once in a while we're walking, I'll take glances back, like, nervously.
At Rotato?
Yes.
Okay.
Rotato is in a full sprint.
What do you decide to do, Rotato? They're currently walking. They walk past you in this expansive room towards
Quickly.
the cloaked
What?
figure.
This is an expansive room.
Yes, it's huge. It's
like-
huge. Think like the courtroom of a king, like where the throne is, and and a huge carpet leading in from the giant doors. It's a huge room.
I'm gonna start skipping in between all of the pillars.
Oh.
Okay. Making your way still in the same direction that they're going towards the cloaked figure.
It just takes me quite a bit longer, and I'm whistling.
I like that. It's very halfling.
I'm gonna...
Keeping a
As I see this while I'm turning around, I'm going to whisper into Dirk's ear. I don't like this one at all.
no.
He
I don't-
frightens me.
Yes, he scares me as well.
That's
Never
awesome.
liked them.
No, halflings are a strange race.
Go quicker.
Yes. Yes, my lord.
Okay, so you both pick up the pace, and just hearing in the background, you hear whistling a merry tune. That somehow in this slightly dark room kind of begins to send chills up and down your spine. It sounds very, very creepy. Sort of the same effect as like a nursery rhyme in a horror movie, you know?
You know what? I think I found the character trait I'm gonna go with.
Okay, so as you approach Yamar and Dirk, the cloaked figure raises an arm, like palm upwards, and as they do so, kind of the shadows in the room begin to coalesce and become two kind of shadowy chairs in front, across this green-topped table from the cloaked figure. And then, as Rotato slowly catches up, a third one also appears from the shadows.
It says I'm the third one.
I am the third one.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna ask the other two why they're so nervous from across the room.
it speaks.
No.
Defend me.
This is a very I've never been in a situation like this before.
I'm gonna be like crouched down, covering my eyes. It speaks.
With this, I'm going to move my. I'm going to like use my shield to kind of like actually I'm like covering him a little.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, oh, we have never been in a situation like this before. This is very interesting. With this, trying to think of an excuse, looking around the room with this kind of magic.
I'm gonna climb the pillars. One of the pillars.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Oh my god.
You know what? No, let's make it acrobatics.
Oh, okay.
That was about to be a nat 20.
15 is still good enough. These you easily grab onto some of the grooves and you slowly inch your way up a pillar. What do you do?
I'm gonna peek my head above the shield a bit.
Okay.
And do I see that he's far away?
I would say he's about 20 feet off from you.
Up.
Yeah. Well, 20 feet across and like 20 feet up. Yeah.
Dank, please take your seat. I can't handle this. Quickly.
I love how you make
We
it
mu-
sound like you're actually behind the shield.
We must do this job, I suppose. So,
We must take the cat. Take my seat quickly and
Okay.
try and get the cloak figure to like speak.
Okay, so you kind of put a hand down on the shadow stool, sort of the shadow chair, and it's solid. It's very, very hard. Like it feels like stone almost. And you take a seat, and as soon as you sit down, the chair changes its form, and suddenly, this grand throne is kind of formed from the shadows, arcing up and just shifting until it looks like a throne sort of adequate to the one that the cloaked figure is sitting on.
Well, as it's shaping itself, I bet I can feel that.
No, you don't.
I don't? Okay.
Because if I
see it.
felt that, I was gonna jump off.
You see it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna jump off immediately as I see something happening.
Okay.
Look back and like take out my weapon, like and shaking.
You don't have any weapons, I don't think.
I'm gonna put out my hands, casting form, just shaking.
Okay. You do as soon as you leap out of the chair, it immediately goes back to how it was before.
this is a strange place with strange people.
I don't like one bit of it.
I'm gonna yell from across the room to these figures and ask them how was their day.
The cloaked figure?
Mm-hmm. It's more of like a
Well,
general,
a general,
Oh.
yeah.
general term of.
Okay. Can you do that in your voice because you're
I'm-
speaking in character?
Hi, buddy. I got a question for you. Mind if I ask?
You can see the cloaked figure who hasn't really moved besides lifting their arm kind of turn its head. Like you can see the shape under the cloak kind of turn to face you as you're speaking.
Do we really look that threatening to you?
Yes.
Just a little.
We're only here for a short while.
I suppose so.
This while couldn't be long enough.
I'll sit back down
Okay.
and try to close my eyes to ignore the shape-shifting chair.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be clenching the edges because I assume there's like
Yeah.
arm guard things.
Yeah, there is.
They're gonna be like clutching those.
Okay.
Why don't the both of you just go talk to him? He seems pretty friendly.
There's currently right next to the cloaked figure.
At this, I'm gonna like lean over to Yamara and be like, "Should I talk to the cloaked figure?"
Like
Yes,
actually in a whisper, like an actual whisper. It's not the
It's kind of like a whisper. Like I lower my voice a little.
Okay.
I suppose I'll do that now, and I guess I'll go up to the cloaked figure and say,
You're across the table from the cloaked figure.
"Okay,
Yeah,
well
we're sitting
then, yeah, I'm
down.
going to look."
Well,
to
he
the
hasn't sat
cloaked
down
figure.
yet.
Oh, I'm going to look to the cloaked figure and say, "So, what is it that you wanted?"
They're gonna lift an arm up and point towards Rotato on the pillar, and then kind of make a beckoning motion.
Little friend, you need to come down here. Apparently,
I'm gonna swing from pillar to pillar over there.
Oh
Make
my
another acrobatics check.
you fall from the top of a pillar.
You leap from pillar to pillar, doing Cirque du Soleil level like flips and kicks off of them until you do another Y pose landing next to the table.
On top of the table.
No, next to it, because you're worried it's gonna break if you land on top of it because of the mighty force.
And then I'm gonna shimmy down.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So
shimmy down and kind of just look towards this figure with kind of a more or less a dumbfounded, fun look.
All right, Zoe.
All right. So,
are you going to approach the table though? Because they're still beckoning until you.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm
so
gonna hop and skip over there.
There's 2 chairs still available. Yamara took the far left one. Then Dirk still hasn't sat down, standing next to it, and now you're standing next to it too. Are the 2 of you going to sit down?
Wait, he's standing next to me?
Yes.
Yes,
Derek is
sir.
standing
I'll
next to
take
you.
a sheet of that of yours.
Okay, do you want to
Alright.
sit in the middle one or the one on the right?
I'll sit in the middle
Okay.
and sort of have my feet kicking like a toddler.
Can I look to the? I'm gonna keep looking to the cloaked figure and say, "Is it all right if I stand?"
Well, as soon as Rotato comes, the arm that was up is going to kind of disappear back behind the other side of the table, and the head is going to turn and face you. And there's not going to be any kind of response.
Oh,
But as soon as Rotato sits down, it changes and shifts from a chair to a half-broken stool. Very creaky and wobbly. With each kick of you swinging your legs, it kind of like rocks to the left and right.
I'm gonna look towards Dirk and I'm gonna say, I
I think she wants you to sit down.
I can't do my voice anymore. Ah!
Oh no.
I think she wants you to sit down.
Boo.
Squidward.
Yes. I suppose so, my lord. And I guess so. Wait, hold on. Which side is Yosh sitting on?
The far right, I think.
The
you
far
have,
left.
is the only one.
The far right is the only one available.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will sit on the far right.
So allow me to.
Kind of warily sitting down, looking at who I'm sitting next to.
So this is the table, right?
Okay.
This is Yosh, Rotato, and Dirk. And then
Dirk or Delta.
or Delta.
Or Delta, yeah.
And then the cloaked figure
Oh wait,
is
I just
here.
realized. Yamara or Yosh, Dirk or Delta.
Rotato or Dr. Chase.
Or anyway, okay, so what happens to me when I sit down?
So as soon as you sit down, it shifts and changes into a sort of. It doesn't change much from a chair, but there's like a cushion on it now.
Oh.
But one of the legs is very squeaky.
Well, this is very nice. Other than this, you know how it's like when you can hear a chair squeak, you kind of rock back and forth a little bit in your chair. I'm gonna do that, but that squeak is quite annoying.
We'll deal with it for the moment.
Yes, I suppose.
God, is it ear piercing?
So, the cloaked figure is going to kind of reach down, and then bringing it up above the table are these 4 these 6 tiny boxes and 1 larger box out of the 6. Well,
Wait, what?
so
Sorry.
6 tiny boxes and a larger box as well. So a total of 7 boxes is going to spread them out on the table.
Hey, big dude, care if I sit on one of them boxes?
No, they're on the table. They're really small.
Oh, okay. Whoop.
Jump on the table and sit on the biggest box.
Well, what do you want us to do with these? I say, looking at them.
So then the cloaked figure, after putting all of the boxes on the table, is going to slowly rise into the air. And as they rise into the air 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet, the cloak actually extends all the way to the ground, as rising up higher and higher. And then all of the red cloth and silks begin to swirl in this red typhoon, just a blur of red for a moment. And you can see the area to the backside, which was once a wall, is slowly kind of being absorbed and taken into the swirling red until eventually you just see stars and clouds and the moon just out, full moon, and slowly melting like candle wax. The cloaked figure is now draped in these gray and purple linens and a beautiful golden dress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be clutching my chest as if I had a heart attack.
At seeing this, I suppose, can I? Oh, well, can I look over to make sure Yamara's okay? Because
Whoa, that looks super cool.
that is really awesome.
So is it just the dress, or is there a person in the, or is there a
There's
thing?
the person. You can see this porcelain white skin, and in this very delicate figure that is wearing this what seems to be like a helmet, but it's made of this cloth that is sort of just hanging down on either sides, concealing anything above the nose. But you can see this beautiful smile that is now resting upon this figure as they begin to slowly descend back to the golden throne. And all you can see in front of you now is the night sky with all of these clouds.
What's the relative size of this figure?
I'll put another. I'll put another one down, and I'll.
It's a pixie.
So yeah, it's about
My size?
like 6'2" in height,
Okay.
like a 6'2" woman. So then, after slowly descending down, for the first time, you hear the voice of the figure. I am Rakshana, goddess of gambling, and I've invited you here, my players, to offer you a chance to change your life forever.
Yee doggy, this one looks pretty.
Yeah, at the sound of the voice, I'm gonna unclutch my chest and then just kind of like Is the table close enough to put my
Yes, it's
my
right in front
elbows
of
on?
you.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm gonna put my elbows on them, just immediately focused. Just
Okay. She's going to gingerly gesture down to the boxes. And as she makes this sweeping motion with her hand above them, they begin to rise up and open, and then kind of floating out of them are going to be out of the larger box is going to be this beautiful ivory die that has these beautiful gold inscriptions on each side of it. It has 6 sides with a different picture on each side, and then several sort of purplish dice come out of the other boxes, all different kinds. Some with 4 sides, some with 100 sides, many different sides.
I think I know what's
Hmm.
going on. We're gonna play D&D inside of D&D.
Yo.
No.
So, goddess of gambling, how...
Rakshana.
Yes, Rakshana, what kind of game are we going to be playing?
Make a religion check. Everybody.
What is religion?
Just on your
just
character
click
sheet.
religion.
Click religion.
Oh yeah, right. I'm sorry. I'm not used to having this much technology.
I know, right? You too, Rotato. So, Yamara, you know Rakshana. She is a chaotic neutral god. She is known for her ability to either bring men to power or take them out of it through many different means, and that she is very famous for obviously her gambling. One thing that you do know, because you threw a 14, is that she never ever cheats. She hates cheaters. And she never lies.
She
So,
hates cheaters, and
Rakshana, while it is a pleasure to meet you, you did not bless my father very well.
Let us skip the pleasantries. We are here to gamble, are we not?
You're right. I suppose we could skip the pleasantries.
Aye.
Which of you will take the chance first to roll the dice of fate?
Immediately at the saying of this, I'm going to look over at Yamara. I'm going to say, I will, Lord.
No, don't worry about it. This is one that I can take by myself.
Well,
Do not fret.
if you
Oh.
advise, Lord.
I will stand up to do this.
Okay.
And I assume...
The chair turns back into the same shadowy chair that it was before.
Yeah. Now, Rakshana, how did this go again? I've heard tales from my father.
As you stand up, the beautiful ivory dice is going to kind of float above the table, and it's just going to sit there waiting for you.
Within distance?
Yeah,
Grabbing distance? Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and take hold of it with 2 fingers.
Okay.
Just kind of toss it.
Throw a d6. So you throw the dice, and It rolls and it rolls and it rolls and it rolls until it lands on the side that has this beautiful gold coin on it that looks very, very similar, but not exactly, to the gold coins you have in your purse. As soon as it lands, it dissipates. And then appearing in your hand is a purple dice. And something urges you to throw it.
And I'll throw it
Throw another
without
d6.
saying a word.
Suddenly, as soon as it lands, it explodes into this sort of purplish kind of mist that covers the whole table until all of what was on top of the table is replaced by one tiny D100.
I assume you want me to roll this one as well.
My dear Yamara, you have chanced upon the gamble of wealth. As you roll this die, you have the chance to reverse all of your issues that have come to you and your family. All that depends is your luck. With a devilish smile stretching across her lips. And the D100 kind of floats up once again to the same position that the ivory dice was in.
You know, I've always quite favored you.
So, the dice, it rolls and it lands on this side that has nothing on it. And then the dice suddenly stretches, and coming out of the side that it landed on is a single copper piece.
I'm gonna go ahead and just pick it up, put it in the purse, take a seat, wordless.
The table then once again resets to the 7 boxes. Fate has not blessed you on this day. Though you should be grateful that you leave this place with your life. For the dice they give, yet they have the power to take away. And then she's going to gesture over to the other two. Who will be next to roll the dice of fates?
I suppose at this I will stand up because Yamara did. And I will say, I believe I will go next. I suppose it's only right.
Once again, she does this sweeping motion across the table, and each of the dice come out again. And the ivory dice floats up to you, just the same way it did Yamara.
Okay. And I guess roll a d6 then.
Mm-hmm. It falls and it lands, and suddenly you feel a chill shoot up your spine and a cold grow in your chest as it rolls, and you can feel something is wrong. And it lands on a side that has this golden inscription of a skull. Then another dice, purplish in nature, appears in your hand. You are urged to throw it.
Okay, I will.
Suddenly, the ivory dice, 2 of them, appear in your hands.
Okay. I guess I'll roll them.
The first one lands on a side that appears to be this kind of reddish bottle, inscripted in gold with a liquid inside of it that as you're looking at it, you can see it sloshing back and forth on the side that the dice lands on. And the secondary one lands on a side that is completely black. And Rakshana speaks. Child, the dice. They say to me that there is much to come to you. You have a choice of 3 paths that you wish to seek. You may live your days with disease on your back. You may take death as it has been rolling. Or you may chance yourself to receive power. And then suddenly 3 dice are going to appear on the edge of the table within reach of you. One of them is yellow. One of them is red. One of them is black.
Do I know which one is which?
By inspecting each of them, you can tell which one is disease, power, and death. The black being death, yellow being disease, and red being power.
Now, also, seeing as I won't make you do the voice again for this one. What is it? Would I know that power, not as like physical power, but power is in like social power?
No, you wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
And you can't tell from the sides either.
Okay, then I'm going to ask then. So, by power, you mean social power, as in, such as nobility?
If you choose to roll the dice of power, you may gain strength beyond your wildest dreams, knowledge that stretches across millennia, the power of a king to rule his people depends upon your luck, knight.
I suppose I will roll for power.
Before you grab the dice, I'm gonna go ahead and say, with just the straightest, calmest voice, Dirk. I hate this, Dirk. Be careful.
Yes, my lord. This is unlike any situation I've been in before, but as long as you live, then my life has been a success.
I do not wish to lose you yet.
And I personally would not like to go yet, I say with a little bit of a smile. So can I roll the dice? Just one
Which one do you choose?
Power.
I assume so. It is a D4.
Oh, a D4.
Okay. As the dice rolls and hits the table, the table then, like, everything on the table disappears as the dice kind of explodes into this red mist. And then coming up from the ground, the shadows completely wrap around you, and you can feel what feels like thousands of daggers tearing your skin to shreds, and hands grabbing at every single part of you, ripping your organs out from your body and tearing any flesh from your bones until you are just a skeleton.
Am I now? Okay, so
You're
I've
alive.
I was gonna say I've seen Sterak before, so that was gonna be my next question. I'm
Yes,
alive.
you're a living skeleton.
Oh. Well,
Oh, it's painful. Very
oh,
painful.
okay.
It hurts a lot.
Ah. Huh. Am I just in this constant pain?
For what
It's
seems like
probably really
5
bad.
minutes. It's 5 minutes, but it feels like an eternity.
Okay, so what happens at the end of this 5 minutes?
So what it looks like to everybody else is just the shadows completely wrapping around you, and then the screams, these blood-curdling screams, erupting through this grand room. So I'm gonna need Yamara and Rotato to make wisdom saving throws.
Nice.
Okay, so you both threw 7, so you're both terrified. You are now very scared and in fear for your life. When suddenly, all of the shadows begin to melt like wax until all that stands is a skeleton.
Do I still have my armor?
No,
Stuff.
you have
I'm
nothing.
I'm just a skeleton.
You're just a skeleton.
Huh. Do I have like anything, like my weapon?
Oh, well, you dropped your
Okay.
sword and shield to the side, so they're
Yes,
still there
when I sat down. Okay, so good.
until he's
Huh.
just a skeleton.
Now, am I in pain anymore? Like, is there like a lingering pain?
Yes.
Oh. Is it a more manageable pain?
No.
Can he
So I am-
second wind all his skin back?
As the skin goes flying back on, not even a scratch.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
'Tis but a flesh wound. I'll be fine. Well, I guess I'll
Huh.
keep blood curdling screaming and looking at where my flesh would be, like on my arms and stuff.
Yeah. That's about right.
Ah.
So I'm scared out of my wits.
Both of you are, Rotato and Yamara.
Care if I
Do-
take? Care if I leave? Just for a moment.
You turn back immediately, and you can see that the entryway that you came in from is completely gone. And you also notice as you turn around that you are now currently floating in the sky.
Holy.
Wait, all of us?
All of you are in the sky. Like these chairs are floating on the sky. The table is in the sky.
Now wait, am I sitting down while I'm...
No, you're standing. Like there's ground underneath you, and you have your feet planted on it.
So
Oh.
he's screaming.
Think of
as
it like a
skeleton.
transparent platform. Yes,
So it's like a big, we're on like a big transparent disc.
essentially. But now you realize that you're no longer in the same grand room. You're now in the sky.
Do I know it's him?
You know that that's where he was before
Or
the
do I
shadows
think
got
he's
him.
a summon now.
You don't know.
Can I check? Is there any way to know?
Call
Oh,
out to
no.
him. Talk to him.
Excuse me, missus. Would you care if I offered you a deal? in order for me to escape with my life. Unlike my friend over here.
If the dice of fate decide that you are worthy to live, then you may leave this place with your life. But you cannot leave without playing a game.
Fuck me.
So I'm gonna look towards the screaming skeleton and just gonna yell out, Derek! 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 Derek!
Through my screams, can I possibly say, "Yes, my lord"?
Yes, you do.
Okay, yes, and I'm going to do that.
It's still you! You're still alive!
Yes, I'm still alive, but this hurts extremely much. I'm just happy it wasn't you.
I'm sorry. You
Finally,
shouldn't have done this.
finally the pain stops.
Like, just suddenly?
No, it slowly fades.
It fades.
Yeah. So it
Hello.
becomes
Just kind of looking down at my hands. Oh, okay, it stopped. Well, it doesn't hurt anymore, but this is I have no words.
The clouds are passing by underneath you.
Say, Mrs., would you care if I rolled the dice for my friend over here instead of me taking all them bullets? Or all them spears?
She doesn't respond initially. And then the ivory and golden dice kind of just floats up to you. Rotato.
How about, Mrs., I know this may sound boring, but what if I raised the stakes and I rolled the dice for both of my friends previously?
What?
A smile shoots across your face.
I'm going to smack Rotato in the back of the head with my bony hand. Skeletal hand. Now, also, bones hurt. when
Yeah.
you get hit by them, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's
So
like
I'd-
sharp twigs when the fingers hit you.
Yes, I would like to do like a backhand slap on the back of his head.
Okay.
What are you, crazy?
I'm going to stand on my chair, wiping the tears I
Okay.
cried for Dirk.
Oh.
Glare down at Rotato.
You ignorant fool! We've already paid our price, it's your turn! Do it for yourself!
Now,
Ah.
Mrs. Oh, you
Go.
go.
No, go for it. Go for it, Rotato. I need to hear what you have to say.
I know that many of you might be concerned about your own life, but if you truly want the power, you have to sacrifice everything. But I think it's fun. So, is this possible, Mrs.?
Can I fireball him?
I was gonna say I would like to pick up my sword and kind of point it at him.
With this dexterity?
Yo,
With
I'm a
this
straight
charisma.
fireball him right now. I've seen what my friend already went through, and I don't want this happening to both of us even further. So I'm a straight
skeleton knight
fireball
and a
him.
skeleton noble. It's like a sitcom.
After I speak, I immediately take the dice out of the air and toss it.
No, I was gonna fireball him first. It goes in the order as Ares is declaimed. Proclaimed.
I haven't declaimed anything yet, so
You've proclaimed it time and time again.
so he says that, and he throws the dice.
Oh my lord.
Oh no.
Throw a
Roll the
d6.
dice.
What do I have to throw?
A d6.
1d6. Oh my lord. You fool.
It lands on the whole black side, and then a purple dice appears in your hand, and you feel urged to throw it.
Can I fireball him now?
You begin to cast fireball, and
Propagandalas loose.
you fire it, but
Oh.
as he has the purple dice in his hand, this purple barrier erects up around him, and all the flames lick around the barrier up to the top. And you're completely unfazed, Rotato. It doesn't, like, you don't notice it at all. You're completely enthralled by this game.
I'm so happy. I'm gonna throw the dice upward.
Okay, throw another d6.
Oh. Oh boy.
Suddenly, the ivory dice that was on the table floats back up and into your hand. And you feel urged to throw it again.
A full redo, maybe.
Okay.
So another d6. It lands on the side with the skull.
Oh God.
And then
Chase,
the
you're
same
gonna kill
purple
us.
dice appears in your hand.
Wait, but I'm already a skeleton.
You can still die
Yeah, but like,
just because the flesh
Throw
was
another
ripped off of
d6.
you.
yo, my outer coating of my bone's gonna go away, and I'll just be.
It just reset again.
The ivory dice
Mhm.
floats up from the table and back into your hand.
Oh my god.
And you feel urged to throw it again.
Well, we're getting wealthy, boys.
It lands on the side with the shiny golden coin, and the purple dice appears in your hand again for the third time.
3.
And you feel urged to throw it.
You feel an urge to put the die down this time. You're done with it.
Suddenly, a gold coin appears over Dirk and Yamara's head. And then Rakshana speaks. You must now choose which of these men will become wealthy. So now you have to choose.
I'm gonna hand it to your Rama because the skeleton
know
don't
my-
have no nervous system, so he can't feel.
He
the
knows you.
wealth.
You're a noble. He would know your name.
I guess.
You guys are in the same city.
Oh,
Wait, who'd you choose?
I chose Yarama.
Yorama.
Yamara.
No, that's a good. Okay, so the 100-sided die appears the table.
Another 42.
How do I roll that?
Copper piece.
The
Okay.
advanced dice and then hit the 100 in the advanced
Advanced
roll
roll?
section.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
2 pellets of rat poop.
The dice explode in this golden dust, and then each of the specks of dust begin to enlarge until there are 8,900 gold pieces spilling onto the table.
Mrs., would you like any of this wealth by chance? I'm just a poor.
No, suddenly, like, you like gesture down to the wealth, and it's all beginning to kind of rise up, and then go into this kind of pouch that has this gold rimming on like the neck of it with like this golden twine, and all like these thousands of gold pieces. Each of them are like the size of a finger, by the way. So they begin to fill this like palm-sized pouch.
It's a
But
big
they
coin.
all go into it seamlessly. Like this is a river of flowing coins into this tiny like cup-sized pouch, and they're all disappearing into it.
Are we all still in the sky?
Yes. And they're all just flooding into it, and then suddenly the pouch begins to float towards Yamara.
I'm gonna speak to all three of them and say, you know, this has been great, y'all. But how do we go home from here? I have quite an adventure to tell family.
Me still standing up in casting position, just looking at him like, I'm just gonna take a seat, shut my mouth, one leg on the other leg.
Also, can I like tap my foot on the ground like just to make sure everything's like solid around me?
Yeah, you do so, and it seems
Okay.
like a very solid ground is underneath you. It just doesn't seem to be visible.
I'm going to walk over next to Yamara and say, "Would you like me to carry this for you, Lord?"
It's in a small pouch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, I want to protect his valuables.
I am all right.
Okay.
You seem to be in a more precarious situation in the moment.
You know, it doesn't, it doesn't hurt as much as you'd think. I mean, it hurt a lot more than anything I'd ever felt before, but now it's just kind of, it's like I was before, but except I, don't have my skin or anything. Just kind of
Suddenly, you're cut
looking down
off
into my-
by the sound of Rakshana's voice once again. And kind of lifting both of her arms, you can see these two elegant purplish wings that are attached to her waist. That also kind of stretch out. And she speaks very powerfully. She says, "You three who have tested fate have come out alive and the victors. Go and tell your people this story, and tell them of the goddess Rakshana." And then she begins to do this kind of twirl, and the wings come up and cover her body. So these feathers begin to swirl in this sort of cyclone and storm until it begins to surround all three of you individually, and a myriad of purples and grays and blacks until you're standing once again in the same position that you were when all three of you met 10 feet away from the cart.
I'm gonna
Now,
say this.
wasn't that a hell of an adventure, y'all? Nice to meet all of you.
I suppose the pleasure is ours as well.
Yes.
Thank you for what you've done. It would be my pleasure to at least give you some of the wealth.
Why, thank you, good sir. I've always needed a little bit of coin to help out with family.
I guess at hearing this, I'll give the pouch to Yamara just so he can give out as much as he pleases.
And
I thought I had it.
that's
Oh,
the
I
end
see
of the one shot.
that.
That was the gamble.
Gosh. My knight lost his skin.
To be
So
How am
honest,
I
just so
gonna
you-
explain that?
Just so you know, there were 6 sides, obviously, to each of these dice.
Yeah.
And there could have been many outcomes. You may be wondering why each of you had all of this abilities, stats,
There
and
was
attacks.
battle dice.
One of the sides was to fight. And then you would throw a d10, and just so that way, if we ever play the gamble again, for those of you watching, there is a chance, upon rolling a d10 and landing a 10, that you must fight a demigod. So this game has many, 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 many different outcomes. And I might, at one point, upload a copy of it. So that way other people can play it too. I think it was really, really fun. Chase, I loved your character. That's not what I
He's
was
a strange
expecting for this
man.
guy at all. But you did really well. There was a lot of life from the character, and I really like that.
Woohoo!
So I
Yay.
want to thank you for
needed
joining us. I want to
choose
thank
an
all of
easier
you
voice.
for watching, and you can look forward to next week's normal uploading schedule of both of our campaigns. And that'll be all. Bye.
Hey.
Laters.
Boop.